Hi everyone, welcome to the Thinking Crypto channel. I hope you're doing well. On this channel, we cover the crypto news and we interview many of the folks who are building and investing in the crypto asset class. Please hit the thumbs up button. Let's get to over 500 likes. Leave a comment below and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Guys, some very interesting updates from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse talking about CBDCs. And of course, the thought process, I should say, around this is the interoperability issue that will be solved with XRP. Because as you know, CBDCs stand for central bank digital currencies, which is essentially the tokenized version, the crypto version of fiat currencies, if you want to put it that way. Many of the central banks around the globe are trying to do this because of the disruption that was caused by Bitcoin and the ever-growing crypto market. So Brad Garlinghouse tweeted the following: over 70% of the central banks around the world are looking at deploying CBDCs. And one thing that's crystal clear is the importance of interoperability. If you're not prioritizing this, you're just rebuilding the same siloed system. And that's absolutely true, where you have pre-funded accounts around the globe where capital is sitting dormant and things are not settled instantly. It's a matter of a messaging system and, kind of trusting the other bank, taking their word for it. And that's the old slow system that currently exists. But Ripple is, of course, deploying or has deployed the solution for that, the modern day solution for that, which is certainly disruptive of the payments industry and the financial industry, where money can be moved in seconds, settled instantly, and full transparency and accuracy. So Brad is hinting to what Ripple is trying to achieve, and as he stated here, CBDCs do not solve the problem, right? You're still going to have that interoperability issue, and they put out a whole article here on their website, dated today, and it talks about this. Interoperability will determine CBDC winners and losers. So very interesting, and once again, I want to point this back to XRP because that is what we're interested in. As an investor in XRP, that's what I'm interested in for sure. So here to give an overview, RippleNet's on-demand liquidity service allows financial institutions to transact in real time across multiple global markets using the digital asset XRP, and such a solution can also support the direct exchange of CBDCs. XRP is faster, less costly, and more scalable than any other digital asset, making it the ideal instrument in bridging two different currencies quickly and efficiently. Using a neutral and efficient digital asset like XRP also reduces the hegemonic influences of the most powerful nations and helps level the playing field in the international trades payment system. So make no mistake about it, XRP is going to be positioned to be the bridge asset, whether it's CBDCs or not CBDCs, if it's just the traditional the traditional fiat currencies, right? But like I said, the CBDCs is a digital version of the fiat currency. So as you can see here, XRP being that bridge asset. Now, the CBDCs actually make it much better for XRP because everything is in a digital environment. So that is why, guys, I am bullish on XRP. I know there's going to be people saying, hey, but what about the price, man? Well, I made money on XRP in the last pump in 2017. I waited months. It was stuck at like 15 and 20 something cents. And then it pumped to $3.80. Now, I wish I had bought more back then because, man, that would have been life-changing, but I didn't. But I still made some money, so I'm not complaining. But this time around, I'm not missing that opportunity. And as you can see here, I'm clearly stating some facts. And I'm not the only one saying this. You have Crypto Dad, Chris Giancarlo, who's the former CFTC chairman, who stated the following: interoperability between CBDCs is critically important. Now is the time for the US to be in the game. It's not the question of if, it's certainly the question of when. And he's been pushing for the digital dollar to be created. And remember, he wrote an article in Forbes this year saying XRP is not a security. And once again, he's the former head of the CFTC, also known as Crypto Dad. And we saw Tom Emmer recently a congressman come out and also say XRP is not a security. So I think we know what side he's on here and in the direction Ripple and all of these regulators are moving in, guys. And Brian Brooks, like I said, keep an eye on him. And he's doing a webinar with the chairman of the SEC. I always forget his name. And that webinar is next week. Jay Clayton. His name always escapes me. So he's the head of the SEC. They're going to be doing a webinar talking about tokenization and crypto and all that good stuff. So big things in the future. And once again, this use case is why I'm so bullish on XRP. And I'm not concerned about the price right now. I am holding it long term. I'm not an XRP maximalist. I hold Bitcoin. I am bullish on Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin is gold 2.0. The corporates, the Wall Streeters, the big money is putting money into Bitcoin. So I hold both XRP and Bitcoin and others like Ethereum and so forth. So just so you guys know where I stand. Now, this is great news, guys. Speaking of Tom Emmer, I'm going to bring him up here. Congress sees 2 new bills looking to chart CFTC and SEC regulatory turf in crypto. So this is a big day for crypto legislation in the United States. We're seeing more congressmen and women coming on board, learning about crypto, and they're introducing bills, guys. This is so bullish. This is what you want to see. The government's going to be on board regulating it, and they're fighting for regulatory clarity. So to things that will help bring more capital into the asset class, right? So 2 crypto bills were introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives on Thursday. One aims to establish which cryptocurrencies are securities. Hint, hint on Tom Emmer there. The other looks to put regulation of exchanges in the hands of the country's commodities regulator. So first up, the Securities Clarity Act from the Office of Representative Tom Emmer establishes new distinction in securities law between an investment contract and an asset sold pursuant to an investment 22 contract, whether tangible or intangible, including and 23 assets in digital form. It's kind of a tongue twister there. But essentially, I think we saw many of us saw the video just from like a month ago in a webinar where Tom Emmer said XRP is not a security. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying it's just XRP based, but it's a big part of what Ripple is doing with XRP because Brad Garlinghouse was on that webinar with Tom Emmer. The facts are right in front of our face of what's coming, right? So the new bill is basically a direct response to recent controversy over the simple agreement for future tokens framework under which currencies like EOS were distributed and which caused immense controversy in the case of Telegram. If passed, the act would restrict the SEC from pursuing digital assets on the basis of the initial contracts under which they were sold. Now, we've seen Commissioner Hester Pierce at the SEC Crypto Mom put out the safe haven to try to give these companies a break as well, right? So that if they launch their token and it was at one point a security, over time it could become a non-security. It's just a matter of timeline and certain legalities and nuances, right? So I like that these guys are pushing it through, and eventually, guys, it's gonna stick. You know, right? It may get pushed back because, you know, there's still the bankers in town trying to stop a lot of things. And, you know, they pay the campaign donations to certain people, and certain people in Congress are going to block it, right? But more and more, the movement of crypto continues. They're not going to they can't stop it, right? It's just a matter of timing for these things to roll out. So Representative Mike Conaway, with the support from a number of co-signers from the Blockchain Caucus, introduced the Digital Commodity Exchange Act to the House of Agriculture Committee. Conaway may be less familiar to Cointelegraph's readers than Emmer, but his position on the Agricultural Committee is critical. Today's bill would put crypto exchanges under the jurisdiction of the CFTC, which answers to the Agriculture Committee. That registration would save exchanges from the patchwork of state by state licensing required of money service providers. Great news. We know that the OCC, along with Brian Brooks, is trying to do something like this, a blanket federal regulation that overrides the different state by state regulations. And the state by state regulations is a mess. I mean, these exchanges, you see many of them want to work in New York. You got to get a BIT license. They can work in other states, but they got to get a BIT license in New York, which is ridiculous. Same thing with some other states like Texas and Florida and so forth, right? That's why many of you who are like, oh, why is Binance not in this state and so forth? It's not because they don't want to be. Trust me, they want, and I've interviewed CZ, I've interviewed Catherine Coley. They want to be there, but unfortunately, what are they going to do if the government's stopping their local government, right? So this is why you need crypto regulations, guys, to open this shit up. And excuse my language, it just pisses me off sometimes, but it's going to open it up and we can get going. Right now, the state-by-state license is just holding back a lot of companies, including Ripple, right? Since we're on the topic there. So great to see progress here. Great to see action. It's eventually going to stick, but this is what we want to see, and this is why we got to be patient. Finally, guys, 100 million people worldwide now use crypto-based assets, says Cambridge study. So I love seeing data, analytics, trends, studies being done around crypto, especially when it doesn't come from crypto companies. It shows the asset class is gaining momentum, right? It's getting more relevancy and more visibility, and you're going to start seeing all these different data aggregators putting together information about the crypto market. So skyrocketing figures show crypto's growing global dominance. Skyrocketing figures show crypto's growing, they repeated the subheader here in the article, so sorry about that. So researchers at the Cambridge Center for Alternative Finance recently revealed that 100 million people around the world currently hold Bitcoin and other blockchain-based assets. In 2018, the second global crypto asset benchmarking study estimated the number of identity-verified crypto users at about 35 million globally. As of Q3 2020, there are up to 191 million accounts open at crypto exchanges, a figure which doesn't include self-hosted wallets. The researchers explained the significant increase. This 189% increase in users may be explained by both a rise in the number of accounts, which increased by 37%, as well as a greater share of accounts being systematically linked to an individual's identity, allowing us to increase our estimate of minimum user numbers associated with the accounts on each service provider. So obviously some duplication here. Like, for example, I have accounts with multiple exchanges, so I'm sure I'm counted a couple of times. But the fact of the matter is the asset class is growing. More people are getting in, especially when the macroeconomic problems are happening. People are seeing the juxtaposition of crypto versus fiat and money printing and inflation, right? You want to put your money in assets that can appreciate and, of course, store the value. So I think we're seeing people just waking up, guys. And, there's been a lot of things in the mainstream media and pop culture, like, for example, the Simpsons episode on crypto and this TV show talking about crypto and this and that, right? So things are happening and people are catching on. That's why we are so lucky we're here early, getting in at the lows, because the next parabolic run up, we are going to see higher prices than we did in 2017. And if we follow the trends, right, and we have a lot of demand from institutional investors now. So guys, as mentioned before, I diversify. I'm holding Bitcoin, XRP, and different cryptos, and certainly bullish on XRP because the disruption, the use case is pretty huge here. I'm not concerned about the price right now because I've seen XRP pump the last the last in the line in the past bull run of 2017, where its pump happened after Bitcoin pumped and Ethereum pumped, right? So I'm not worried about that, and I know regulatory clarity is a big thing that's holding back Ripple right now from doing some things with XRP, but we're seeing progress. We're seeing there's congressmen and former CFTC chair Chris Giancarlo and a lot of people behind Ripple. So I think, people who are caught up in maximalism and petty stuff on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, lack professionalism, are going to start, XRP is a shitcoin, it's a scam. Yeah. The Congressman Tom Emmer is going to go on a webinar and say XRP is not a security and talk about it. And Chris Giancarlo is going to write a Forbes article about it, and they're supporting a scam. Yeah, good luck with that. Guys, what do you think about this news? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, and I'll talk to you all later.